Hi, I'm Maya Johnson, anchor at CTV News Montreal. Donna, it is a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm looking forward to speaking to you again on February 21st. I've got two of your books here with me. Pluck, your memoir, and Rage the Night, your novel, your recently released novel, which came out in 2023. I know Pluck was published in 2021. And I wanted to ask you, as a writer, have you found it more challenging to delve into your own memories and personal experiences and recount your own story, or more challenging to dream up characters and a plot line and mix fact with fiction? Because Rage the Night is a novel, but it's based on a real life tragedy. Did you find it more challenging to write one than the other?
The challenging thing with writing historic fiction is that you have to be exacting to dates, and so that takes a lot of morphing of your fictitious story that you're weaving through it. And so that was a bit challenging. You had charts on your wall, the dates, the timelines, and you've got this character over here. Wait, now he can't. It's too soon. He can't reach this point. I got to push him back. Well, so there's a lot of dancing around the actual timelines. So I think it was Aristotle or Plato that said that fiction is actually truer than nonfiction, for the simple fact that with fiction you can hook into the archetypes and tell the story as you want it to be, focusing on the big lessons, whereas with nonfiction you are wired to the actual events themselves, and it kind of restricts your pen and how you want to carry the story. So I prefer fiction, of course. But those real life stories, boy, some of them you just can't make them up.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you prefer writing fiction and yet made a choice to also write a memoir and share your own story. Why did you decide to make yourself so vulnerable? Because I imagine you have to be to share things that are so personal and so sad.
I thought I didn't feel vulnerable in the sense that I had already mined myself so many times for my fiction stories, because everything I wrote was inspired by what I had lived, what I had seen. So there was a story that I really wanted to tell about my mom, and there was a story I really wanted to tell about my mental illness. And I thought they were important things that I had learned. And I just couldn't find a character brave enough to carry those stories or something. So I had to resort to self.
So
And
it had to be me.
it had to be me. Yeah, no, because when you start a story, you might say, I want to tell this story of my mother, of my journey through mental illness. But when you start telling the stories, you know, it just somehow these stories hijack you and hijacks your pen, and it tells its story, and you are merely the machine that's allowing it to do so. So it just never ever happened that I could find a story that would carry those two things that I really wanted to write about: mental illness and mother, the love of a mother, the depth of that love of a mother, and death, and grief. And so, yeah, after I'd written about 6 novels, just broaching on these big, huge life's events that I'd lived through, I finally decided I just got to do a memoir, and I will approach it from the truth, from me. And yes, that is a bit vulnerable, because you're used to having a character carry everything for you, but suddenly it's just you. And actually, when I first wrote it, my first draft, I wrote it in the third person, and my publisher quickly sent it back and said, "No, no, 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 no. Memoir is I present." So I had to rewrite it.
Wow. Well, thank you, Donna, for sharing that with us. And again, I really look forward to speaking more with you and asking lots more questions on February 21st. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maya.